So guys, the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid has just been released in GTA Online. In this video, I will be giving you a walkthrough of these missions on the hard difficulty and go through all of the setups and finale. The Cluckin Bell Raid will have in total 5 setup missions, followed by the finale, which will net you a pretty good overall payment of $500,000. Another great feature about this raid is that it can be done completely solo, and it does not require you to spend any amount of money to begin with. But nevertheless guys, let's jump straight into this video. To start the Cluckin Bell Raid, you will first of all have to wait in a GTA Online session for roughly 5 minutes. Essentially, we are just waiting for Vincent to call us, and eventually over some time he will call you and give you guys some further details. This is how the call will go.
Hey, it's Vincent. It gives me supreme pleasure to report I am no longer mall security guard over at Rockford Plaza. In fact, these days, I'm in a position to offer you a lucrative, although unorthodox opportunity to make some money and sabotage one of your long-standing adversaries. If you're interested, meet me at the Vespucci police station.
So once the call has finished, you will have a new symbol on your map, and similar to the other characters across GTA Online, this symbol will be in the shape of a V for Vincent. And this will be how you can start the Cluckin Bell Raid. So once you guys are ready, you can walk into this Corona circle, press right on the D-pad, and you will be in the first setup mission for the Cluckin Bell Raid. And just bear in mind, we have not had to pay any setup fees or anything like that, so I am pretty sure that you will be able to do this at any level. This first setup mission will require you to steal some laundered money from some different laundering businesses.
Wouldn't advise going inside. Not with your reputation for depravity and general aversion to the law. In all seriousness, your countenance is quite discernible, and there are certain of my consociates who would take it upon themselves to exercise their right to lethal force were they to encounter you in person. But it's good to cross paths with you again, my friend. After head of security at the Diamond, this isn't exactly what I had in mind, but it's still a long way from a mall cop, right? Let's take a walk. Relax. I'm a cop, but I'm not a cop. This is just where the universe put me right now. I mean, I have my path and you have yours. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn about your antics out there. In fact, we may be able to assist each other. I mean, check this out. You see that misguided individual? How do you think he's gotten away with selling drugs in front of that burger shop very conspicuously for 10 years now? In front of the largest department in the city. He cuts them in.
Effenberger, you copy? Yo, Effenberger.
I copy.
Worst last name ever, dude. I mean, effing what? Anyway, when you got 5, we all need some effing coffee down here on Dick's. And don't forget the effing cream and sugar.
Copy that. These motherfuckers. I'm out here getting coffee for cops on the take. And that guy over there is only a modicum of the issue. This new cartel running a large-scale cocaine operation out of the Cluckin Bell factory in Paleto Bay. And being no doubt, the cops, they're not only turning a blind eye, they're actively facilitating. If you ask me, the cartel and the cops can both go to hell, preferably on the back of the same bullet. I'm talking about a surgical strike, man. Taking out the whole operation. That's why I came to you. Let's go somewhere a bit more unfrequented. I understand your motivation in these matters. If you raid that factory, anything you find is yours to keep. This isn't about the drugs for me. This is about these assholes running the biggest protection racket in the state. That's the kind of status quo I cannot abide. As far as my part, I can provide all the intel you need. Records, names, locations. We will need to educate ourselves on the factory, though. Gather materials so you can attack it with style and aptitude.
Ding fucking dong, Officer Effenberger. We're effing falling asleep over here. Get us some effing coffee.
Copy that. I'm on my way. Think about it. If anybody deserves to be fucked with, it's these guys. Can I count you in? Excellent. Now on to the first order of business. Acquire some funds. And fortuitously, we have files on some money laundering operations not far from here. The department allows them to operate for a share of the profits. I suggest we take a more proactive stance. Time to do what you do. I'll call you. Let me take these fucking assholes their coffee.
And supposedly the reason we have to do this is to fund this whole operation. The only way this will take a while is just driving around to the different businesses. So of course, to save you guys the boredom of this, I will just cut these parts out. After collecting all of the laundered money, you guys are then tasked with delivering this money to Vincent's lockup. And upon delivering this money, you are then done with the first setup mission. So honestly, this setup mission did not take me that long, maybe at most 10 minutes. And this is just really down to the fact that we have to drive everywhere. I do not believe that you can use the Oppressor Mac 2 in the setup missions, but if you guys can, let me know in the comments down below. So now of course, to start the second setup mission of the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid, you just want to head back over to the V symbol on your map, press right on the D-pad when you are there, and you should be able to now select and see all of the different setup missions and finale.
Alright, let's discuss a potential way into this place. The cartel are paying off employees at Cluckin Bell to use their factory as a cover. There are a couple things we'll need in order to solidify my current infiltration claim. Let's move.
So now the second setup mission is called Breaking and Entering. This mission is a little bit more different. You will have to first of all head over to a terabyte or the laptop. If you guys go to the terabyte like I did, you first of all have to find it in this area. And once you have found it, you will then have to take out some drones, which will be shooting at you. After some time and taking out a few drones, you can then access the terabyte and steal the hacking device. Now with the hacking device, I had to go over to the laptop after doing this. I'm not exactly sure what would happen if you guys went to the laptop first, but as you will see, all you had to do at the laptop was just steal it. So honestly, I really don't think it matters which order you do this. The next thing that you would have to do in this setup is head over to this sort of train location, and at this location, you guys will be stealing the train keys. And for, I believe, the first time in GTA Online, you will get to enter the train and actually control it. Although this is very limited control, you pretty much just get to accelerate. And honestly, at this point of the mission, you will pretty much just have to sort of survive. For some reason, the train is completely indestructible still. When driving this train, just look out for your minimap and for these red zones. As soon as you guys enter one of these red zones, you will have to press right on the D-pad to hack the signal. The signal is for the tracks and to make sure that the train does not stop. There is also a very short hacking cooldown, so as long as you guys make sure that you press it at the right time, you should be completely fine. In this setup, I would also make sure that you keep your snacks and armor in the interaction menu open, especially if you are doing this completely solo and on the hard difficulty. But after a few minutes of just driving the train, this second setup mission will be completed and you will receive some RP for doing this. And just like before, we have to go all the way back over to Vincent to start the next setup missions. Now, depending where you guys spawn, I would probably suggest finding a new session with a different spawn location. This can save you a little bit of time. So eventually I got back to Vincent, and for the third setup mission, this is where you will be sourcing some weapons. This setup mission is specifically called Concealed Weapons.
So, we have some important yet enjoyable decisions to make. On the one hand, you need to acquire your preferred weapons and gear. On the other, you need to acquire your getaway vehicle. We'll need to steal both. These can't be traced back to us. Where would you like to start?
And unlike the Chaos Preco heist, when you are sourcing your weapons for that, this is definitely a lot different. You really have 3 options to choose from, and these will all be in 3 different locations. Each location has a different sort of standard. When I drove to this first location that was pretty close, Vincent actually says that these weapons are not that good, or at least the crew members using these weapons are not that experienced, which in turn will probably give me some worse weapons. So instead, I decided to go over to the yacht, and over here I collected the professionals gear. Along with this, the loadout of the professionals, which included a heavy rifle, a tactical SMG, the heavy shotgun, and also pipe bombs. Now, after collecting this loadout, all I had to do was deliver the equipment to Vincent's lockup. Now, the cool part about this is even after delivering these weapons and equipment, I did have the option to collect the other equipment if I needed it. Now, for me, I decided not to do this because I would just have to drive all the way over there, then back, and I didn't really see much point of doing it. But maybe if you guys wanted some more options or just more weapons in general, this is something that you could definitely do. After confirming the weapon loadout I wanted, the mission was completed, and now I moved over to the next setup mission. The next setup mission was named Hit and Run, and essentially this will be for our getaway vehicle. Just like the weapons that we just collected, this was a very similar style of mission. Vincent actually sent me a text with the different vehicles on it, and just based off these images, I decided to go for target B. Just be very careful because Vincent also states that these getaway vehicles are from the same clans or gangs, and that if you guys have hit one of these gangs before in the weapon loadout, they will be more prepared and armed, and this seems to be the case with the one that I had to do. You will see there was a helicopter over here, along with a bunch of enemies to take down, but after doing this I eventually found the getaway vehicle, which was the Dinka Sugoi, and after collecting this vehicle, the last thing to do was take it to an auto shop to repair it, and then deliver it into the garage. I'm not sure if this garage is the same for everyone or not, but this garage for me was pretty much right next to the Cluckin Bell factory. I believe this will be the same thing for everyone. And again guys, just like the weapons, we do have a choice. We can actually just go out and collect the last two vehicles, or we can stick to this first vehicle and just go ahead with the next setup. And like before, I just decided to go ahead and complete the setup. So finally guys, we are on to the last setup mission for the Cluckin Bell Raid. This setup mission is called Disorganized Crime.
Hey, so I understand that your MO is up to you, but there are steps you can take to ensure the element of surprise is on your side. Introducing a little chaos into the cartel supply line is one of them. If you do, they'll assume your arrival on the train is just an unscheduled delivery. And if nothing else, the looks on their faces will be highly amusing.
The first part of this mission just requires you to hack some different vans. After hacking the first van and going over to the last van, I managed to take one of the Cluckin Bell outfits, which in turn made this a little bit more stealthier when I entered the cartel's garage. Inside this garage, it is fairly simple. You will first of all have to sabotage the Cluckin Bell delivery trucks. I believe that you can also just destroy them and go in here guns blazing. However, in the top left hand corner of the screen, it does say that destroying a truck will put the cartel on high alert for the raid. So I just decided to do this all stealthily. It is also worth noting that you can sneak past most of these guards, apart from the guards with the red cone of vision. What I would do to them guards is just take them out by using a suppressor. This will make things so easy. You can also take out the other guards if you really wanted to. Now right here in the gameplay, you will see a drill. You want to collect this drill and then come through these different doors and start drilling into these loot boxes. Essentially, we are just looking for a key card. Now be very careful with this drill as the enemies nearby will hear you guys drilling, and honestly I think this is just super annoying. So what I would do first is make sure that you take out any guards around here, even the guards who are patrolling this sort of corridor. As you guys can see that one of them actually walks into this room, but luckily enough I was ready and was able to just take him out. After some time of drilling through these different safe boxes, I found the keycard in one of them, and after doing this you can also keep drilling some of them to potentially get some more cash. I decided not to do this because it just took so long, but this might be something that you want to try and do and maybe potentially get more money. I also believe in this garage, if you guys do not alert the guards, this will be how you can do the stealthy approach for the finale. However, if you guys do alert the guards and go in guns blazing, I believe that would be how you do the aggressive sort of approach. I am honestly not 100% sure. I don't think I even got an option to select either one of them, but this makes the most sense to me as I did not get detected and I somehow got to do the stealthy approach for the finale. I also wiped the cameras just before leaving the cartel garage. Funnily enough, just before doing this, I thought I got detected, so I just took out every single guard in this garage, and this for me seems to count as undetected. Maybe it was because I did delete the security camera feeds, but who even knows? I just found it kind of funny. But now the last thing to do in this setup mission was deliver the flatbed to Vincent's lockup. This is of course for the sneaky approach, and we will be using one of these delivery boxes on the flatbed to sneak into the factory. So I believe if you guys did get detected, you will not have to deliver the flatbed, and instead there will be some sort of different setup or something where you might have to burst into the Cluckin Bell factory. If you guys got that for your finale, just let me know in the comments down below. But at long last guys, we are on to the finale of the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid. Just like all of the other setup missions, you will have to go over to the V symbol again, and the finale finale of the Cluckin Bell Raid is called Scene of the Crime. Now, because I did the last setup mission pretty stealthily and somehow did not get detected, you will see I got this cutscene for the finale. Essentially, we are sneaking in to the Cluckin Bell factory in one of these boxes.
How you doing in that box? Under the circumstances, your customary silence is a little concerning. Should I have added air holes? Cluck twice if you're in trouble. Okay, good. Now remember, when you burst out of that crate, you'll be in the heart of that operation. How you choose to use the element of surprise is up to you. This is it. Good luck.
And once this short cutscene was over, I can now just walk around in the factory and sneak my way over to the coke storage area. I then had to collect the coke, go to another storage location for some more coke, and after doing this, I then had to head over to the office. Now, you guys could probably do this a little bit faster than I did, but I decided to do this all still stealthily, so I used one of the suppressed weapons that I had. I believe it was the tactical SMG. And to do this all stealthily, I would say it is honestly very easy, especially compared to maybe the KO Pre-Car heist, but then again, that is pretty easy as well. Once inside the office, I then had to use the hacking device to locate 3 different computers. I will let this gameplay play out so that you guys can see which computers that I had to go to. Honestly, this wasn't too hard. At first, I was definitely a little bit confused, but for the second and third computer, they are pretty much right next to each other, at least for me. And this then revealed a safe code. Now, to remember the safe code, if you guys do not have the best memory, I would just suggest using a smartphone and taking a picture of the hacking device. This will just save you a little bit of time instead of just remembering it, and that is exactly what I did. So inside this safe, there was just some cash. And now that we have the coke and cash, the final thing to do was just leave the Cluckin Bell factory. Now, this was also very easy. It seems like none of the guards really detected me, so I just kept moving around the corner until I got to the garage. Once at the garage, I took out the getaway vehicle, and after doing this, I was then fully detected. But the only thing to do now was just to drive, lose the wanted level, and then deliver all of the loot to Vincent's lockup. Honestly, if you guys just keep driving from this point onwards, the wanted level will eventually go. This sort of reminds me of the auto shop getaways. I would say it is pretty similar. After some time, I got to Vincent's lockup, and that was the Cluckin Bell Raid done. I will let this cutscene play out for you guys so you can see it. This cutscene also showcases the new Gauntlet Interceptor.
Excellent work. Mission accomplished. Now to the vital matter of payment. As I'm sure you can appreciate, there are certain transactions I can't be party to as an officer of the law. But if I've learned anything from my associates on the LSPD, it's how to look the other way. Now remember, as far as I'm concerned, you can hit that factory as often as you'd like. As long as you're giving me reasons to keep looking the other way, I'm happy. As you can see from my choice of transportation, my fortunes at the LSPD are also improving. Just got these babies in, fresh off the line. Guess who picked one up? Until next time, let's disassociate.
So the moment this cutscene finishes, guys, you will then be rewarded with the payout for the raid. This will be a huge $500,000, which honestly is not a bad payout. Altogether, doing all of the setups and different things in the Cluckin Bell Raid took me roughly an hour and a half. On top of this, you will see that I also got an additional $250,000. And then because the weekly challenge is to complete, I believe, the finale for the Cluckin Bell Raid, I also got an additional $100,000 on top of this. So altogether, I made roughly $800,000, which for an hour and a half is not bad at all, especially doing this completely solo with no setup fees. Now, I would not expect to make $800,000 every time you do it. Obviously, there was some sort of progress unlock and the weekly challenge on top of it, but $500,000 each time is definitely not bad. I mean, if we put into perspective the auto shop's union depository contract, from that contract in about maybe half an hour, you will make $270,000. So compared to this will definitely take longer, but you are getting a little bit more money on top. And in the time it takes to do all of these different contact missions, you can have businesses in the background making you guys even more money. For example, a really good business for this would probably be the Acid Lab. And even for different cooldowns, for example, the KO Preaker heist cooldown, you could do this or the Dr. Dre contract in that time, maybe even do them back to back. I think that would be a great way that you guys can make some good money. But anyways, guys, this was my sort of walkthrough of this Cluckin Bell Farm Raid. My overall thoughts on this raid is that it is kind of fun. The only downside to this is that they are all contact missions, and it does take 1 hour and a half to make $500,000. Now, will I play this again? I would probably say yes, but the only reason for this is because of the different setup or the different way that you guys can play the finale. That is something that I definitely want to see how it is. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this walkthrough video. I was going to split this video up into 4 or 5 different parts. However, I just thought it would be easier to show you guys just the whole thing. With some luck, this does help some of you out. If it does, make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate your support. And if you guys are new here, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally, guys, stay safe. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.